Welcome back to another episode of what I'm on, episode 3. It's your boy Don, and we're gonna get this thing cracking, man. We got 3 topics today, and none bigger than these championship games that's gonna be going on this Sunday. But the first game, we got the 49ers and the Eagles. I tell you this, like I know I've talked messed about both of these teams facing easier competition all year, but both have looked good all season. You got to give them that. And I say this also, they're both two complete teams. Like on both sides of the ball, they have playmakers, all pros, like just guys that's just going to get the job done. And I think this is going to be like a defensive battle, to be honest with you. um I say this. I start with the Eagles. The Eagles, they're a well-rounded team. They can throw the ball, they can pass the ball. I mean, they can throw the ball, they can rush, and they're one of the league's best at explosive plays. They have a top one of the top duo wide receivers. You still have to worry about Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders running wild on you, and the RPO game with them. It's just a lot of stuff that you have to worry about when dealing with the Eagles. I mean, Jalen Hurts. I looked at his next gen stat chart. I mean, everywhere is basically green. Bruh is above average at every part of the field, or throwing at every part of the field right now. I mean, it shows you why he is an MVP candidate. And I've been skeptical of him, and I I can't take nothing away from him. I do think he's a good player. I do, but I also do believe that all the weapons in the offensive line, it helps him elevate his game, and which it should, and he elevates them also. But I just feel like he gets a little bit more praise than what he should. I mean, he's a good player, top 10 quarterback right now. I mean, it's been one season, but he has this Philly offense looking dominant. I can't lie. I cannot lie about that. But I'm real interested to see how this Philly offensive line holds up against that 49ers front four. And it's not like you just have to worry about the starters. They have some depth on that front four where some guys can come in and pressure Jalen Hurts also. I mean, I think the real weakness of that 49ers basically defense is the cornerback position. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Tre'Davious Ward. Lenore, he's straight, but I would say this: that might be a game plan for the Eagles. Test those two guys out, because I think AJ Brown can dominate over Tre'Davious Ward, and uh, Devonta Smith can dominate over Lenore. But you also still have to account for Jimmy Ward is back there. Hufanga is back there. I mean, it's gonna be a chess match back there, to be honest with you. And then you still have to account for Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders trying to run and get up out there. Miles Sanders, he's an underrated back, to be honest with you. Like, he really is. And we have seen the 49ers struggle a little bit against mobile QBs just a tad bit. I mean, when they went against Justin Field, I mean, some of the motion, some of the jet sweeps, but then also when Justin Fields was getting up out of the pocket, because this defense is so great, everybody attacks the ball all at once. You had some cornerbacks, linebackers running and leaving wide receivers open just to get to Justin Fields, and Justin Fields was making a throw right to the wide open receiver. So you have to. I think they're gonna have to be disciplined when they see Jalen Hurts getting up outside that pocket. You gotta go. And I just feel like this Eagles team, they're good. I can't lie about that. They're number one in sacks right now. I think they have like 70 something. They're good, but I'm not putting too much stock. and what I saw last week, to be honest with you. The Giants are a B level, not even B level, C level team. They don't have talent. Now, they go out here and beat the 49ers like how they did them, then all right, now you talking about something. Now you saying like, okay, this team is really like that. But on the other side, the 49ers, I mean, I I know I talk mess about Tre'Davious Ward and Lenore, but they are first in interceptions. And if they're able to get pressure with their front four and have Hurts back there kind of scrambling a little bit, maybe they might be able to get him to turn the ball over. I believe he's only turned the ball over 6 times interceptions this year. So it's not like he's really turning the ball over too much, but that might be a game plan. See if that front four can get back there. I mean, I know it's going to be hard. I mean, Lane Johnson is back. They have a very good offensive line in Philly, and I'm not sure if they can, but I would put money on Nick Bosa and Armstead and the rest of them boys to get there. And I say this: the defense of Philly against this 49ers offense, that's gonna be a test there, because Philly weakness is there, and it's not even really a real bad weakness. They're middle of the pack, but it's their run defense. They're middle of the pack in rushing yards allowed, rushing TDs allowed. Um, I believe red zone TDs allowed, and I'm just not sure if this is the team you want to play if you're not on top of your game with the running defense, because you have Debo that Kyle Shanahan's going to have Debo in that backfield a good part of the game, and then you still have McCaffrey. That's a lot to handle, and it's Kyle Shanahan is one of the best at scheming up run plays. You got to give that man his props, and so I have no doubts that Philly can probably lock up the Jennings, maybe lock up Ayuk, make Kittle's life a little harder, because they do have probably top three duo, or top maybe the best duo in cornerbacks out there with Bradbury and Big Play Slay. So it's gonna be interesting. I mean, and then they still have Gardner Johnson out there. So I'm really interested to see how that works out for them. And then I going back to the 49ers defense, something that I didn't mention, they have Fred Warner. We saw Fred Warner last week. I'm not going to say he took away CD Lamb all by himself, but took away CD Lamb somewhat in the middle of the field. He took away the middle of the field. That one play, he was running down the field with CD, and CD could have still caught it, but he played great defense up on them. So you have to give it to him. I mean, I just think that this 49ers defense, I'm leaning towards the 49ers, to be honest with you. And it's more so of just these teams are so even, and I think the 49ers are going to lean more on their running game than trying to put it in Purdy's hand, because I, I wouldn't trust Purdy against this Philly defense, to be honest with you. I would put in McCaffrey, Debo, my playmakers, and see if they can win this game for me. I mean, I do think Purdy's gonna connect with Kittle or Ayuk on a big play once or twice in this game, and it might be able to swing momentum. But other than that, I wouldn't put it in Purdy's hand, because we saw Purdy, eh, he he might give that ball away if you give him an opportunity, and I'm just not here to try to find out if that's what he's gonna do. And I just believe that Kyle Shanahan is one of the top coaches up out here, and so that's why I'm more so running with the 49ers. These are two even teams. I believe the 49ers gets the job done, to be honest with you. Our next game, Bengals versus Chiefs. Now, you know, Bengals wasn't supposed to be here. A lot of people had already proclaim that the Bills and Chiefs was gonna be in the AFC Championship game, and the Bengals had to go up in Buffalo and just show them y'all not really messing with us like how y'all think y'all are. Like that game where DeMar Hamlin got injured, Bengals was going up and down the field on them that game, and so now you're talking about how they did last week in Buffalo. I was thoroughly impressed, to be honest with you. All week, all we heard was, "Oh, the Bengals offensive line, three new starters. Oh, the offensive line this, the offensive line that." And I told y'all, who in the hell on Buffalo is gonna rush? Is gonna consistent get constant pressure on Burrow. And honestly, that's kind of like how I'm feeling this week also. Like, yeah, I get it. Kansas City's number two in sacks this season. But when they played the Bengals, that wasn't happening. They wasn't getting to Burrow like that. They got one sack and maybe three QB hits. So what? You're gonna send pressure? Good luck. Because then you're gonna have, like I said last week, bombs away Jamar Chase, bombs away T. Higgins, bombs away Tyler Boyd, bombs away Hayden Hurst, because you can't leave your rookie cornerbacks on an island against top notch wide receivers. And I just can't see what they're gonna do, what they're gonna play zone. Joe Burrow is the best zone quarterback out there. And so let me backtrack a little bit. There has been a lot of trash talk going on before this game also. They've called it Burrowhead. They've called Willie Gay has said nothing impresses him about the Bengals offense. Now, Willie Gay, we saw last time that the Chiefs decided to talk trash about the Bengals. We saw how that worked out for y'all. And I hear a lot of people keep on saying, "Oh, the Bengals have only beaten them by 3 points in the games against them." Well, did we not remember last game it looked like the Bengals should have won at least by 10, to be honest with you, because Tyler Boyd dropped a wide open touchdown. So are we not seeing the same thing? Like I don't get it. And they putting so much on they making this Chiefs defense sound like they're like that. They're not. They really aren't. Like, yes, they have Chris Jones. He's good. But then what? Oh, well, Frank Clark, he's fourth in NFL history with sacks. That's fine. That's cute. It really is. Oh, we got George Karlaftis. Okay, cool. The only one of those guys that actually I feel like is gonna do something or could do something is Chris Jones, and I don't think he's gonna do nothing either. To be honest with you, even if we do have to roll out that same offensive line that we did last week, would they give up a sack or two? Maybe. But I'm not here to say like, oh, because they have this offensive line that the Chiefs. I'm not sold on that Chiefs offensive line, and I mean defensive line. And honestly, I just don't see how people are putting so much praise up on them. Like, yes, y'all got some sacks, but did you do? I would just go against the opponent. Like, who did you get all those sacks against? If it was me, but I say this: some of the reasons why I'm so confident that the Bengals are going to win this game is because in the last 4 weeks, opposing offensives has had a higher percent of turnovers than TDs. Like, think of that. That's crazy. Like, come on now. Who else doing that, bruh? Like, Lou Anarumo has this defense playing at an all-time level, and he's not getting no praise for it. Like, hell, people don't even want to give him a head coach interview job. But hey, we're happy to have him. And then I go back to the last game we saw them play again when the Chiefs got inside the Bengals 30-yard line. Patrick Mahomes was 1 of 6 for 2 yards. He couldn't pass down there, and they was relying on the running game to score. Now I know people are saying, "Oh, but Pachinko and McKinnon." Okay, we got DJ Reader, we got BJ Hill. Let's see how much running y'all can do against those guys with Logan Wilson crashing down in the gaps. Like I'm not, I'm just not here for all that nonsense of, oh, the Chiefs are so much balanced now. That's the same thing they were saying about the Bills, but now everybody got excuses for the Bills now. Well, we said that the Bills wasn't this complete team. No, the hell y'all didn't. Y'all was praising the Bills like they was like that, and then when a team come in there and smack them in their mouth, now it's, oh, they're not. They wasn't really like that. They didn't have the talent to go up against these teams and that. So okay, so we're gonna see what excuse that you got for these guys after this game. And another reason why I just don't think the Chiefs can win is Mahomes isn't 100%. Honestly, like I'm not gonna say I'm not I still don't think Mahomes is gonna have a good game, but you also have to factor in he was healthy and doing like those Mahomian plays, running around, scrambling, buying time before. Now you're saying he has a bad ankle, and yeah, if he's able to still plan off of it, but how much of that twisting and bending and just the weird angles he throws the balls can his body take with a bad ankle? I'm not sure, and I'm not banking on it because a high ankle sprain does hurt. Trust, it does. And you think that it's going to be healed in a week? I don't. I don't. So now you're saying that he's going to be in the pocket. Cool. He's one of the best QBs in the pocket, but the Bengals have held Patrick Mahomes sort of in check every time that they've played him. To be honest with you, and I know people are going to say, "Oh, Travis Kelsey set a tight end, well, not even tight end, just a receiving record last week for most receiving completions or receiving things. Dang, I'm losing my brain. Just catches made. That's cool. That is. Travis Kelsey doesn't do that against the Bengals. So now you're relying on Juju, MVS, Sky Moore. What's that other one? Gray or Watson, McKinnon, Pachinko. Like, come on, man. Come on. Come on now. I if the Jaguars was a little bit better, the Jaguars had a chance if they stopped making the mistakes that they was making last week. And one of my not even one of my biggest reason why I think the Bengals are going to win. Why I know the Bengals are going to win. Joe Burrow, man, like, bruh has an average of 327 passing yards against the Chiefs, and he has 9 total touchdowns and 1 interception. Kansas City, y'all still not like that on defense. I don't know why everybody out here, like, I don't know who got y'all fooled to think y'all really like that, because y'all ain't. And so it's gonna take Burrow to come up in there, show y'all what's up. He gonna put a cool 300 yards up on y'all, couple TDs, and we gonna see how y'all feeling after this game in Burrowhead. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the Bengals go back to a second straight Super Bowl, and I feel like they finally get the respect that they were supposed to get this coming season, coming back to this season next year after they win that Super Bowl also, because it was a lot of disrespect. Everybody was Bills this, Chiefs that. So we gonna see. We are, because I believe that this Bengals team is way better than the team last year, to be honest with you. Like, by far. Like, you're not seeing. I know everybody used to say big play Bengals, that all they do is just throw the ball deep. Jamar Chase go route. T Higgins or Jamal Chase post routes. Like, I get it. I do. But now Joe Burrow is diagnosing the defense before they even get up out there and trying to, and even if they do try to do post snap, he analyzes the field so well that it's hard to stop this man, and I don't believe that he gets stopped this weekend. And I say this: Joe Burrow go out there and beat them and win the Super Bowl. We gonna have to revisit this QB ranking of people saying that Patrick Mahomes is the best QB out. I get it. I get it. He- everybody is basically wowed by all the plays that he makes and stuff. But if you're 0-4 against a guy, doesn't that count for something? Honestly, like if you're 0-4 against a guy, he puts up the numbers when he plays you, and hey, he won the Super Bowl, so now y'all tied in Super Bowls. You'll still have, you're probably gonna win MVP this year, so you'll have two MVPs on him. But I just think you have to start giving Burrow that praise. I know at the beginning of the year was Josh Allen this, Herbert this, and I just feel like y'all did a disservice to yourselves by not believing in Joe Burrow, and he's gonna go out here, take care of Patrick Mahomes this week, and probably take care of the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Our last topic, Mr. Rodgers Neighborhood. Where is Aaron Rodgers going to be residing next year? Now, I know he could end up back with the Packers, but I'm more inclined to believe that he's probably going, to be honest with you. And you saw the Jets hired Nathaniel Hackett yesterday. I wasn't I'm not the biggest Nathaniel Hackett fan, and we also saw the Broncos did this same thing last year. Hire Nathaniel Hackett, thinking, "Oh, we're probably gonna get Aaron Rodgers." That didn't work out for y'all. Y'all got washed up Russ instead. So now it's like, okay, the Jets. I hope y'all don't become the Broncos, where y'all think y'all getting Aaron Rodgers, and then y'all end up with Teddy Bridgewater or like uh well, let me not go that far, because I believe they didn't get they didn't get Aaron Rodgers, they probably will go get Jimmy G or Derek Carr. But that's a drop off from Aaron Rodgers. To be honest with you, we're seeing that right now. Aaron Rodgers to Russ. You know what I'm saying? Like, but starting off with the list, I think one of the spots I do believe would be a good spot for him. Those New York Jets, like they have weapons. They have Garrett Wilson. They have Corey Davis if they don't release him. They have Elijah Moore. They're gonna have Brees Hall back. That offensive line is not as bad as you would think. Like they have some stuff on that team, and we already know how good that defense is with Robert Saleh running it. And now you bring in Nathaniel Hackett. If Aaron Rodgers does come, he's gonna put in plays that Aaron Rodgers likes to run. Now, do I think that's a good move? No, honestly, I don't. If I'm a quarterback right now, honestly, I'm trying to stay away from the AFC at all costs. If you're not one of those top guys like Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, who else out there? Lamar. Like, if you're not one of those guys, I would stay up out of there, to be honest with you, because I don't believe the Jets. Do I think the Jets could beat the Bills for the division crown? I don't. I think it's too early to say, because I do believe the Bills are going to try to add some pieces this offseason. But just off of just first thought, I'm not too sure. I'm not, like, I know they beat the Bills once this season with Zach Wilson, but I'm not sure. I believe the Bills upgrade their team this offseason with like minor pieces, but try to get like a actual legit number two wide receiver, because big game Gabe Davis is not that guy. But I believe the Jets. that's probably that's a good landing spot for Rodgers, but I'm just not sure if that's the best spot to go because if it's me, I'm trying to stay in the NFC where the only two it's only really two teams you really have to worry about out there right now, the 49ers and the Eagles, to be honest with you. And do I think that Rodgers could come out of the NFC if he stayed out there and join like one of these other teams going to bring up? Yes. My next team, speaking of a team that I believe that if he went to them, I believe they could come out the NFC. The Commanders, they have weapons, bruh. Like they really do. Like I know the Commanders. Nobody really thinks about them, but they got Scary Terry out there. They got Dotson up out there. What's that other one? Samuel. Like they got some pieces up out there, and then they still have Gibson, but I don't know. I think he's a free agent, but they have Gibson and Robinson. That team would be scary, and they have a good young defense on the other side. I believe that if they got them, they would win the NFC East, to be honest with you. Because we saw with the NFC East, the team that won the previous year does not repeat. Like that's a fact. So I'm 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 really interested. If I was Rodgers, that's the team I'd want to go to. Out of all these teams that's on this list, I want to go to the Commanders. Like they're ready made. They just need a quarterback. That's all. Like the Commanders are a good young team. Rodgers come in there, bring some consistency at the quarterback position. I believe they at least in the NFC conference in the NFC championship game. To be honest with you, I really like this Commanders team. To be honest with you, they just have to figure out that quarterback position. Our next team, the Carolina Panthers. I like the Carolina Panthers because they just hired Frank Wright. I believe he's a great coach. I really do. You saw what he did with Carson Wentz in his first season. Carson Wentz is ass, and he had Carson Wentz looking like an MVP candidate. And so I just feel like he's gotten a bad shake out there and when he is with the Colts. And I feel like you give him like Aaron Rodgers, who they already have Marshall, they already have DJ Moore, they have some pieces, Chuba Hubbard at running back. They have some pieces out there. Offensive line is getting better. That defense, that secondary is that's a hey, talk about clamped. They got some boys out there. And I like same thing. The NFC South is so bad. I don't even care if Brady even went back to Tampa, to be honest with you. I believe if Aaron Rodgers went to Carolina, they're gonna win that division. Like there was nothing I saw from Tampa last season, this season, to make me think like, oh, even if Brady comes back, it's gonna be better. Nah, I don't believe it. And so I feel like if you go out there with Frank Wright, Aaron Rodgers, y'all at least making it to the divisional round, to be honest with you. Like that team, that's a good young team. Just needs a few more tweaks and pieces here. But I think that's a good young team. Our fourth team. Now this one right here, uh, you could see it happening, but I'm more so leaning that it won't. I think the Dolphins, like the main issue is just the Tua situation. How much do the Dolphins believe in Tua? Don't know. What about his concussions? Nobody knows. And so if the Dolphins aren't sold on Tua in his health, maybe you could see them trying to go out there and get an Aaron Rodgers to solidify this team. And you know, they'll have Tyreek Hill, they'll have Waddle. Gesicki is a free agent, but they have pieces. That's the only thing that they're missing. I'm not that high on their defense, but their defense is decent. So now you're talking about Tyreek Hill, Waddle, Wolf, Aaron Rodgers. Mm, that's dangerous there. That is dangerous. I- Do I believe that they could win the AFC East? Um, until I just don't like I just don't like the Dolphins, and they fired their DC, but so maybe they'll run a different scheme. But I was like, I didn't like all that zero blitzes that they was doing, because you're leaving your cornerbacks on islands with great wide receivers. And I didn't think that the Dolphins corners was like that, to be honest with you. Like, Xavier Howard, he's cool, but he isn't the Xavier Howard that we knew from the past. So that's why I'm just like, the Dolphins, they're probably, yeah, they're ranked 4 for me, because I'm just not sure about that defense. And the same thing with this next team. The Raiders is my last team. I like the Raiders. I like him reuniting with Adams. But they have, yes, they have the weapons. They do. But I'm damn sure not sold on McDaniels. I do not think he's a great coach. I really don't. We've seen him time and time again. When he goes to these new teams, he gets rid of the quarterback that's there. You seen him do it with Jay Cutler. Now you seen him do it with Derek Carr. Like, I don't think he's that good. I really do not. I think he's overhyped. I really do. I think, just like, this is a topic for another day. But I kind of feel like Bill Belichick, he kind of got overhyped, because, hey, ever since Brady left, the Patriots have not looked good, and everybody says he's the best coach ever. Hey, all I know is all I know is, man, the Patriots have looked like ass since Brady's gone, and Brady has went on to win a Super Bowl without them. But let's get back to the Raiders. I For me, I feel like this team would be good, but their defense is so bad. It really is. And do you want to go out there and have to deal with Mahomes twice a year, Herbert twice a year? Like, I'm not sure about that. I won't even say Russ, but I say that Denver defense. Like, they're good. I'm just not sure, man. Like, I believe your best chance of winning anything is being in the NFC right now, because the AFC is so stacked that you come out here to the Raiders or the Dolphins, who don't have good defenses. I'm just not sure. Like, do you think the Raiders are going to turn around this horrible defense in one offseason? I don't. They don't have cornerbacks. Their linebackers are trash. Like, their safeties, I'm not sold on either. Oh, Chandler Jones was an overpay. Max Crosby is Max Crosby, but that's about the only solid piece they got on that defensive side that I'm like, okay, yeah, they got that. So you go out there, I think you're still missing the playoffs, to be honest with you. I think with the other 4 teams, you have a possibility of making the playoffs, to be honest with you. But with that Raiders team, I just can't see it. I can't. But that's gonna be it for today. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and I appreciate y'all tuning in today, listening to me rant. But we out.